Hey, Shawn, Connor, Million New Golf, you know what it is. You know where to find us online, on Twitter and on Vine. Let's just jump straight into it. We got a question. We have two questions, actually, that we think we can answer at the same time. The first question is regarding, is the cause of many swing faults being ball bound? And the second part of that question, or the way that we think that they blend well together, is how do you differentiate between keeping your head down and not raising up in the backswing? So Shawn, have at it.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you first and foremost for the question. And I use that question as an example to what we need to evolve from in this game. And we need to evolve out of body part thinking and mistakes, right? Because you're thinking that you got to keep your head down so you don't make a mistake, or you gotta prevent yourself from coming up in the backswing because you think it's a mistake. Whereas what we want to do is turn that into a task that you can accomplish. So if I'm a lumberjack and I've got my tree here, let's have some fun. So Connor, if you could be so kind as to hold this tree up for me. Okay. Okay. So if I wanted to, we can do it from behind. Okay. So if I wanted to deliver my axe to the side of this tree, you notice where I would put my head in relation to that tree. So you notice my head, are you moving around?
Stay there.
Okay.
Okay, money.
So my head would be behind the tree here. Can you see that? And my head would not move away from the tree in the backswing. It stays with it. And my head would not move in front of the tree on the downswing, because now I'm just shaving bark into the ground from the side of the tree, versus now I'm shaving bark up the tree. But if I want to put this blade to the side of the tree, notice my head doesn't move and my head doesn't move, and I'm staying beautifully centered with that. Immediately, if I come off, I know I can't hit the same position on that tree. So this is really important. Thanks, Connor.
No worries.
This is really important for you to get.
I feel like Vanna White.
All right. So what I want to do now is I take my blade, and I want to take the blade and put it between the ground and the equator of the golf ball. And if I stay with that in the backswing right now, I feel like I'm staying with that task. I just gave up on that task. It feels like I can no longer put the blade in that position. I can. I still can. So the sole of the club now can be delivered along the surface of the ground into the side of the tree. I'm with it, I'm with it, I'm with it. So notice I just keep my awareness on that task. Now, if you're hell-bent on making sure you keep your head down, because how often do we hear that, Connor? I mean, just go out to a driving range today, and if you see somebody else coaching somebody, you're going to hear it like repeated nonstop. Yep. Keep your head down. You lifted your head. Well, your head has nothing to do with the contact with the golf ball. Remember what George Newton said? Mm-hmm. So might as well chop it off. You don't need it. First of all, it thinks too much. And secondly, it has nothing to do with your shot. So you're bending from the hips. If you look at Scully here, Scully, because, she's a great redhead from the X-Files.
That's it.
Here's where you bend from. That's below your butt. So when you bend from the hips, this is what brings you forward. You could stay up here and put your head down all you want. You're still not going to get the proper contact with the golf ball or the ground. So you throw the hips back, and now you're in a great position to cut grass or put the axe to the side of the tree at the ground level. And that way, you are able to maintain a beautiful range of motion while you're staying on task. And that's what we want.
Money, yeah. A great way to remember this, okay, is you don't want to be an old man peeing in the forest. And this is a little too much Beyonce, but somewhere just before Beyonce is probably a pretty good setup, okay? So, you're probably not going to do this at the driving range, but in a mirror in front of your house, old man peeing in the forest, a little too much Beyonce, and somewhere just before Beyonce is the good stuff, okay? Sorry, Beyonce.
I love it, man.
Okay.
Youth.
That's it.
That's it.
Another question we had was about sequence. Sequence, finding your timing, losing your timing. And I want to answer that by pretending that you had one arm, okay? And if you had one arm and your brain was tasked with swinging a club with one arm, okay, the club just got considerably heavier because you can't use both hands to support the weight of it now. So your brain would try and figure out the easiest way to move the weight of the club head, which is the heavy part, without crashing it into your body like this, okay? Because as soon as I move the weight of the club head this way, this whole system of muscles is being compromised or it's being overworked, and I know that it's heavier and it's harder, okay? Don't ever undermine how intelligent your own brain is and how aware you can become really, really quickly of what feels lighter, okay? And generally speaking, if the club feels in a light position, it's the best balance and it's going to be the easiest to move fast, which is ultimately what you want to do if you want to hit the ball far and make it feel really easy.
Efficient.
Right.
Love it.
So we're going to put a couple videos up on Vine of me and Shawn both swinging with just our left and right hand. And you should notice how your body just kind of gets out of the way in the backswing and allows the club to trace up and be in pretty good balance, okay? And this is ultimately the essence of having great sequence or having a repeatable rhythm is keeping the club in balance so your brain isn't freaking out trying to not fall over as you swing the club on the way down. Fair enough? So we'll make a couple videos like that. We had one other question about hitting like a low stinging draw.
How are we doing on time, Matt? Heavy.
Okay. Well then, you know, we'll answer that question next time.
We're burning up.
check out the Vines. We're gonna hit up and make some videos. And if you play them in slow motion on Vine, and you can pause it along the way, you should be able to see some really cool stuff. It's very applicable to how your body's supposed to move and how you're supposed to stay in sequence.
Great acid test coming up for you. Be some great curriculum.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out.